Hello and welcome to the second Women's World Tour stage race of the season, the Amgen Tour of California, a 4-day stage race on the west coast of the United States of America. Stage 1 runs all the way around the beautiful Lake Tahoe on the state borders of California and Nevada and is 117 kilometers long. Marianne Vos is back into the saddle and the question is what she thinks will happen on this stage.
Well, it's difficult to say how it's going to be, and that's also the exciting part because it's new for a lot of girls, and of course we've seen the Amgen Tour of California has been a really good race in the last years. So it's good to be here, and we'll see today. It's the first stage is already an uphill finish, so I think that's going to say something about the rest of the week.
I think we're in a good situation with being on, as I said, a Dutch team. We know the wind and we know how to handle the wind, so it'll be an advantage for us, I think.
And as they said, it will be a very windy day with wind speeds up to 60 kilometers an hour. So stage 1 is 117 kilometers with one Queen of the Mountain stage after 18 kilometers and one at the finish. And there's only one intermediate sprint at 36.5 kilometers. It is Lindsay Beyer of Hagens Berman. She sprints away directly after kilometer 0. And she rides away and will get 20 seconds from the peloton. But the peloton decided that Beyer is not the girl for the break today. So after 10 kilometers she is reeled back into the peloton. So we start to climb at Emerald Bay at 18 kilometers in, when the legs are just warmed up. So the women have to face a 1.2 kilometer climb with an average of 7%. It is Sarah Poitevin of Rally Cycling who crosses the summit first. Mara Abbott of Women High 5 in second place and Taylor Wiles crossing the summit as third. Wiles normally riding for Orica AIS, but here in California racing for her national USA team. On the climb, the peloton is split into 3 groups, and after the summit, it is Dame Sarah Story of Podium Ambition that attacks. The 38-year-old multiple Paralympic champion attacked at almost the exact same point of the stage on the last year's edition. So after 35 kilometers, Story has a gap of 1 minute and 30 seconds and she is riding hard because 5 kilometers later she already has a 2 minute and 45 second lead over the peloton. So the first intermediate sprint at 36.5 kilometers, it's Story, Megan Garnier of Boels Dolman second with teammate Chantal Blaak right behind her. Bonuses are 3, 2 and 1 seconds here. Blaak did a very good lead out for Garnier here. And I'm back in the peloton. It's mostly Boels Dolmans and Canyon Shrem. They're working very hard to reel Dame Sarah Story back in. 50 kilometers before the finish, Story arrives in Nevada with almost 5 minutes of advantage. But with 30 kilometers to go, the gap starts to drop. And she gets caught up with only 5 kilometers to go. No chance alone in these strong winds today. There are no attacks before the 1.7 kilometer 5.9% climb up to Heavenly Mountain Resort, but Bulls play their numbers. First Blaak accelerates, then Stevens attacks, and as Johansson covers that, it's Garnier that attacks. And Garnier is riding and riding very hard, and it's only Johansson that actually can kind of follow her. It is Amgen Tour of Bulls Dolmans that solos here to a win on the first stage of the Amgen Tour of California.
Yeah, it went to plan. Chantal and Carol Ann let it out from the bottom, and then Evie took over from that, and I attacked off of that. It's nice to be here on home soil in the Stars and Stripes and to win after all the hard work the girls did today.
Today's mantra today was patience, and I had to really practice my patience. There were some riders today that went a little early on the climb, and I kept on saying, don't go, don't go. That's what I'm known for, is going too early. And so I was patient. I feel really good about being on the podium next to competitors such as Megan and Emma Johansson. They're superstars in the peloton, so it's really great to be on that podium with them today.
The team did most of the work. The girls were amazing. Sitting at Sarah's store, he was in the breakaway all day, and she put in a massive effort. Big props for what she did today, and really made the girls how to work. And yeah, they brought it back, and then I didn't go in a very good position into that left-hand turn, but Chantal and the other girls they hit it perfectly, and then my job was to go at that right-hand turn, and then Megan was able to go for the win.
I was looking at the faces behind me after the QOM and the descent, and there looked to be some riders that were already in the red, so I decided it was a good place to try and get away, and obviously that took me through the sprint line and then just kept on pushing, and it looked as if at one point it might stay away all the way, but 5k to go and the whole peloton was there and jumped on top, so I managed to hang in there, and it was just off the back at the end, so it wasn't so bad. But yeah, if only it had been a few k shorter, and a tailwind down that descent would have been welcome, but I gave it everything.
When Evie went, Mara was making pace up to the last K, and then Evie attacked, and I thought, I'm suffering, for sure, no one is going to react, so I need to go, so I went, and then Megan went, just contra on that, and I knew I had to go again, but I couldn't close it, so yeah, Megan came in on her own. I was chasing all the way to the end, but when your legs are just hurting. Yeah, I did what I could, and I think the girls did a really good job to close that gap. And yeah, I know it's not a win, but it's still a good place, a good result. Now just recover, and then tomorrow a TTT on normal bikes. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be different. It'll be interesting. It's the same idea. I actually think for a lot of us, some of the girls who don't time trials often, it's a little bit easier, because you're always very comfortable on your road bike position, but our team's really comfortable on time trial bikes too. It's just a nice opportunity to practice, and I think the race will be pretty close, so it will be an important result.
We came down to Folsom several days early to do a team time trial camp, specifically because we knew that there could be time lost or gained on the TTT tomorrow. So I'm really excited about the team we brought here. It's really strong, and I was happy that I could actually deliver today so that we can earn a couple seconds ahead of some other teams going into the Folsom tomorrow. But this is a really good 4-day stage race, and you always have to wake up every morning and have a new plan and go after it every day, because it's not over until Sunday.
Tomorrow is a team time trial, and we have a strong squad for that, so we're just going to look to do our best tomorrow as well.
So looking at the leaderboard, it's Amgen Tour for Bulls Dolmans crossing the finish line first in South Lake Tahoe, with Emma Johansson just in second place, only 4 seconds behind. Kirsten Armstrong winning the sprint for third, just before Black and Vos. So with all the bonification second calculated, it's Tour that leads in the general classifications by 10 seconds over Johansson, followed by Armstrong, who has to gain 18 seconds on the American rider of Bulls Dolmans. Be sure to be back for the second stage of Amgen Tour of California with a 20.3 kilometer team time trial in Folsom.